You guys don't suffocate in here. I come to give information, bro. I'm gonna hit this to you right now. This is hot off the press. These are gospel tracks, so it's not real money. Don't go to the bank for cash, you guys. Put me in jail. You guys, before I preach to the choir, do you guys know anything about Jesus? Or what is your thoughts on Jesus? Just be completely honest. I'm not trying to convince you anything. I'm just curious.
I know you're real.
I appreciate that. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Do you believe in him or no?
I believe in God. Yeah.
Okay, believe in God. Okay, what about you?
I believe in some.
Like just like a higher power, right? Yeah. I hear you. So what I tell people, bro, I come out here, like I said, information. I can't convince you anything. You see this building right here? Mm-hmm. Who would raise their hand and say that they know a builder built this building? Or do you need proof? You didn't see the building being built. You didn't meet the builder, but you know that somebody built this building?
Yeah.
Like facts? Like, are you willing to bet your life on this? I'm being serious right now. Yeah, right? Without question. But essentially, you believe by faith in something that someone built that you never met. So you obviously know proof that somebody built that building, but the evidence is somebody built that building. So I agree with you, my man, that there is a higher power that created this place. It's intelligently designed. The question is does this God have a name? Mm-hmm. And that's the seed that I want to plant, that you guys would actually investigate this. You don't know what Jesus. How do you know that Jesus I'm talking about isn't just a prophet in Islam? Mm-hmm. You don't know. So
with that being said, like I grew up in Christianity.
Did you? Okay.
I was baptized in Christianity, but Islam is like that's like what I've been learning and stuff like that. Like, oh, you've been learning? Okay. Yeah.
What is so? Islam has a different take on Jesus, right? So they don't believe Jesus is the Son of God. They don't believe he died on the cross or rose again from the grave.
Right. It's just two totally. But the Quran is still something that gets studied, but the Bible has never been something that's been put down. So before I never took my shahada fully, but all my siblings, my brothers and stuff, they took their shahadas. I didn't fast, went through Ramadan and everything with them. But the same thing is the same thing that you can put into Christ. I didn't been through. I went to church, grew up, going to church,
you got
stuff
the best
like that.
of both worlds.
So it's like, with me, by this year, I'm gonna be a strong religious. Like, I should be very religious because I've been learning from both of the things. So that's something I just didn't go straight into being saying I'm just a big on Christianity or saying I'm being big on Islamic. You know? I was learning, reading.
I appreciate that, and the reason why this guy right here, you different in a way. I mean, look right here. You even got a cross here on your shirt. That's kind of crazy. So like, as far as you got Judaism, right? Mm-hmm. That's the Old Testament. You got the New Testament. That's Jesus, and then you got the final revelation of God, which is the Quran. And what's crazy is whether you're Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, they each have a different interpretation or view on Jesus. Jews, they don't think Jesus, Son of God, did miracles. He was just a good moral teacher, but crazy, calling himself equal with God, and that's why they killed him, right? Christians say no, Jesus is the Son of God. God manifested in the flesh, part of the triune God, who did die and rose again from the grave. That's what solidified his whole message and teachings. And then Islam comes 600 years later and says, nah, you know what? You guys are worshiping Jesus. You shouldn't worship Jesus. He's just a man like Moses, not worthy of worship, and that's idolatry. Christians are doing it wrong, and God sent Muhammad here to give you the recorrection teachings on that. The only problem is Muhammad never met Jesus.
Never met Jesus.
So who would you trust? Someone who lived, ate, drank, and watched Jesus, the apostles who wrote the Bibles, or would you trust someone who lived 600 years after Jesus who never met Jesus?
This is a conversation that you will have to have and get more into, because just like you just said, that with the apostles, that's something that low-key just answered the question that I've been trying to figure out too.
So, that same question what you just said.
Exactly what you just said when you just said the apostles are the ones that sat there and wrote out the Bible. So if you got it like that, and in the Islamics, you think that Muhammad was the person that came and spoke upon the book. So I never really knew that the apostles was the person that read. Yeah, I never knew that.
So that's a seed for you. Because
people say that the Bible be man-made.
Okay, what is man-made? What is the Quran? How is the Quran not man-made? Did somebody write it, or did God write it with his hand?
No, it's the same thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So any information that we get in life, Abraham Lincoln got shot in the back of the head while watching a play. How do we know that? We weren't there. So where do we get that information from? A book written by men who we never met. Same thing with the Bible. Book that's written by men who we never met. So everything is faith-based, but there should be evidence for it, okay? As for me, brother, I'll tell you this, and this tell you why I'm not Muslim and I am a Christian, is because of this. When I look at the life of Muhammad, what he taught, what he said, how he lived, versus Jesus, what he taught, how he lived, and what he said, Muhammad, far from a perfect person. Jesus, the perfect person. And even the Quran will confirm that Jesus is without sin. So do I take what Jesus said? Because Jesus says, like, paraphrasing, but you know, the reason why he had to die on the cross for our sins is because the only way to get to heaven is perfection. Are you perfect?
No.
I'm not perfect. Anyone here perfect? Raise your hand. If you're perfect, let me know. Because no one's perfect. That was the whole reason why Jesus had to come. It was for a purpose. It was a mission to live the life that we could not live, which is fulfilling the righteous requirements that we need to get to heaven. Jesus did it on our behalf, and it took the punishment that we deserve because we all broke God's law. That's why sin entered in the world. Quran will even to some degree agree with that. The problem is, in Islam or any other religion, 99% of religions, because I've done my homework, do yours. 99% of religions, whether you ask a Buddhist, a Muslim, whether you ask a Hindu, what do I need to do to go to heaven or be reincarnated as a butterfly instead of a cockroach, or reach nirvana or become my own God? Because they have different beliefs about afterlife. What do I need to do in order to fulfill that? They will tell you the same thing. Your good must outweigh your bad. Okay, but what Jesus said is none of your good could outweigh your bad. You have to be perfect. That's why he died on the cross and rose again from the grave. Check this out, bro. If you don't know, if this is your journey right now, and I'm sorry guys, I'll get you out of here. I know you guys are cool. Thank you for your patience. Three things that Islam disagrees with Christianity. You could get out if you need to get out. Yeah, go ahead. You're good. Give me 30 seconds. That's your right?
We finna slide back.
They don't believe Jesus, Son of God, rose again, or died and rose again from the grave. Those are the three things that we need to do to be saved according to Christianity.
Can I get your number, bro?
Yeah, please. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, thank you for remembering. 815. Oh, you want me to type? Yeah, go.